Okay, Dr. Zimmerman, I have Dr. Mir on the line. And Dr. Zimmerman, who else did you say was there? I forget.
So Stacy Taylor, my better two-thirds, and my director of aesthetics.
Hi, Stacy. Hi, Dr. Zimmerman.
Hi, Dr.
Nice to
Mir.
talk to you guys. I just want you guys to know that my better two-thirds is in bed and has given me a few minutes. No, please don't be sorry. So I understand the whole the better two-thirds part of it, because mine is in bed right now, and he's like, you got a few minutes to talk to them, and then game over. I wouldn't have gotten on this call. I'm a very no nonsense, no bullshit person. I don't believe in spending money excessively. I'm just not that person that's going to buy a $10,000 exam chair. I'm not that person. I got to where I'm at by being very strategic and moving very, very methodically. And I met Freddie. I had my doubts. There's no question. I'm like, I don't even know what this guy, I'm a New Yorker. This guy's from Texas. What does he know about my business? And he came in, I think we're on day 3, but the first day he came in, we talked, we strategized. He kind of laid out what he thought was going to happen. I listened. He's like, your staff's going to get pissed. Somebody's probably going to walk out. You're probably going to wonder why you picked me. You probably are going to have second guesses. You're probably going to have doubts. You're probably going to think to yourself, what the hell did I hire this guy for? Why am I spending all this money? And all that's happened. And that's the truth. The second day.
We're already there.
Yeah. So I get it. Why am I spending this money? What's going to happen? What's this guy going to do for me that I can't do for myself already? I just decided to take the leap of faith and just jump in and figure it out. Nobody has expendable income. We're all trying to make things work for us. The first day when he was with my staff, I had one staff member who I cared about very deeply walk out, telling me she thought Freddie was aggressive, all sorts of awful things, and she walked out. And in the moment, it really sucked. And it really shook us all to the core. And it caused me to have more doubts. Like, what the hell am I doing? I talked to my husband. I'm like, what's going on? And he said to me, like, you're not going to know the effects of today right now. You're going to know them 6 months from now when you look back. It was a rough day. But during that day, I decided I'm going to just take the leap of faith, and I'm going to go on board and apply and sign up for all these programs like Red Spot, this or the other. What's the worst that can happen? I cancel after a month. It doesn't work out, I cancel. Signed up for all of them. Freddie got me fast-tracked in all of them. And then day 3, I didn't see him for most of the day, and he was up till 3 o'clock in the morning sending out resumes to kind of help me with staffing. And then at the end of my workday today, around 6 o'clock, he shows up at my office with 3 candidates. Walks in, sits them down, gives them this thing, kind of like a Celebrity Apprentice style speech about how out of 135 candidates, he's picked these 3, and they should be happy and feel proud of themselves for being there. And they were. And I was trying very hard to find something I didn't like about any of them. Like, even if it was their stupid shirt that I didn't like, if it was their hair, I wanted to find something wrong with any one of these. And, I know this is my first time meeting them, but they were very excited to be there, very amped up and happy to be there. And the pay rate that he negotiated with them, I don't think I could have, So I feel very hopeful. I think in 6 months I can look back and tell you even more so how I felt, but I can tell you confidently as somebody who's been in New York 22 years, who doesn't believe anything you tell me, who was very doubtful about spending the cash, that these 3 days he's proven himself, and I have a lot of respect for him right now. I did before.
Have you and Stacey been lunching together or something?
No.
I swear you guys are clones.
Oh, I look forward to meeting you someday, Stacey.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
If you're coming out to the aesthetic show, she's lecturing, and she may be out at AACS as well. We'll see.
I think I'll be at AACS. I'm not going to be in the Vegas one because I just came from Vegas. But, yeah, so that was my experience. I don't have any, financial skin in the game. I just feel like my experience, I don't feel doctors support each other enough. I think we were given everything, to do and education-wise, but we go through a lot of hurdles when it comes to building our practices, and a lot of our hurdles are the same ones. And it's like Freddie comes in and Dr. J comes in and like unifies it for all of us. Like, okay, guess what? We've all dealt with shitty staff. We've all dealt with staff that we care about that have left us at the moment of a hat, pin being dropped. And I feel like it's a great unifier, and I feel very supported by these guys, and it's a good feeling.
No,
and
that's good.
And Dr.
Mhm.
Mir, I don't mean to interrupt anybody. Dr. Mir, can you tell Dr. Zimmerman what big role that Dr. Genevieve played too in all these 3 days, and how he stepped out and what he
Well,
did?
it was kind of unexpected. I met Dr. Genevieve at the I met him at the aesthetics in Vegas, and he was great. He was fun.
Yeah, we were there.
Dinner, Mr. Dubai. You took us to dinner. It's like I was like with the king of Dubai. It's cool. But I kind of figured, he's going to go sit on his throne in San Antonio and do his surgeries, and I might hear from him. But I don't know what I expected. I didn't expect a whole lot. Because I don't expect a whole lot. And the night before Freddie came out, called me. I didn't expect it. I didn't even know he had my number. I didn't give him my number. I didn't ask for his number. And he called. He's like, guess what? It's going to be a crazy process, but trust the process. I'm here with you. I got your back. I consider you a friend, even though I've met you a few times. And this is personal. If they mess with you, they mess with me. And he said, trust the process. I appreciated that. I really did. And then he called me again yesterday after my staff left to tell me, hey, are you okay? I'm not used to that. I don't get a lot of hand-holding. And I appreciated the support. It makes you feel like you're part of a team. And it's kind of nice to be amongst people who actually, he's not making any money off of me. But he's vested and he's interested and he's supportive. And that was a great feeling. And if that's something that works for you guys, then you jump on it. If it doesn't, it's fine. You find another way. But for me, there was something that wasn't working, and I needed to fix it instead of bitching about it for 5 more years,
Yeah, we already signed and paid our first installment, so we're on board. We're just a little trepidation. We have a little trepidation.
Yeah,
but
I do too. I do too. Of course, I get it. Like, listen, like I said, you make the decision today, and then you jump in. What's the worst that you can lose? And for me, it's money. Money is the worst thing that I can lose. Money is obviously something. But what if everything works out great?
Yep.
What if it works out amazing? If it doesn't, we can all come for Freddie together with our like, however you all come for him together. But what if it works out? And what if it's the best decision ever made? And if it isn't, you find a way out.
Yeah, and I think there'll be sort of a users group that will form around this kind of intervention that will be beneficial for other docs as well.
Yeah. There's things that they're doing that even 2 years ago weren't available. He showed me third-party software that I didn't even know existed, and I find myself to be very on top of things, and I didn't know they existed. And you know what? Maybe I could have found them if I had spent the time to look for it, or if I had the facilities to look for it. But he was able to find me 3 solid, employees and staff in a 12-hour period. And how long? We all know how long that takes for us to do. That would have been weeks of interviewing for me to find these people. Yep. And he was able to look in facets of industry that I wouldn't have thought of.
Freddie tells me I'm looking for all the right people in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And you know
I
what,
pay
Dr.
attention.
Zimmerman? That's true. And you know what, Dr. Zimmerman? I was not only did Dr. Genevieve reach out, which I didn't know, which was the day before. He also reached out to her yesterday to follow up with her to see how she was. And then he spoke to the staff today.
Yeah, he did.
Cool.
It was great. And he told him. Yeah, he told him. He's like, if you mess with her, you mess with me. And I appreciate that. And, this isn't my first rodeo. I've been in practice for 15 years. I had to kind of take a break because I was like, solo practice sucks. And for me, I joined another practice, and I realized I cannot work underneath another doctor as an employee. So I'm going back out there. It's been a year now. I've been very busy, and anything that you can do to get that support and that, you know, stuff. The price is scary. I get it. But what if it all works out? What if it actually works out? Then it's not imagine that. And if you had talked to me yesterday at this time, I probably would have been like, I don't know. My staff walked out. Who's going to do my virtual consults? Who's going to answer my phone? But today I have 3 new people that are really excited to be on board. So it's an interesting process.
Is this the first visit or the second visit? Where are you at?
This is my first visit. This is the day 3. Yeah.
This is the first assessment visit, Dr. Zimmerman, which is really, really hard. Mm-hmm. This is when I go into the office, the first I have a meeting with you, and I speak to you, and I sit down with you, and then the second day is when I go into the office. I sit down with the staff. I have the talk with the staff. I see what kind of response I get. I see where I feel for where they're at. I see where we're going, and then I make my recommendations. I'm still not done hiring. I got one more person to hire down here, but I'm taking my time. I'm looking for a me to be in her office.
Right.
I can't clone myself, so I'm looking for a me, and that me is going to be involved in the day-to-day. Is going to be that buffer. Is going to watch her back. Is going to make sure that she's that buffer between them. I mean, I find solutions.
And he doesn't rest. Like we had, I went to bed. I said, goodbye to him yesterday after he left the office, and we were supposed to have dinner. And I text him around 7 p.m. and I'm like, Freddie, my brain is spaghetti right now. I can't meet you for dinner. I need to just decompress from the evening. I really did. I was exhausted from the emotional up and down from yesterday. And I got up today, this morning, and I saw all of these messages on Indeed that were going through up till 3 o'clock in the morning. He didn't go to bed because he was working his ass off to try and get candidates for me. And I really didn't think, I'm like, he's in New York 3 days. How the hell is he going to find people to work for me when I know it takes me a month to find somebody decent? And he did. So I don't know. He's relentless. He's really relentless. It's a passion of his. He's very passionate about getting the job done.
Freddie has told us that we can't tell any of our staff, and we should have our usual bookings. So, I mean, I've got full schedules Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is after the aesthetic show. And there's some of my trepidation because he wants to have meetings with me and meetings with the staff, and they're all supposed to be busy running their butts off.
And that's what you want. That's what you want, Dr. Zimmerman. They're running because, okay, it's a normal day. Like, I'll meet with you in the evening after you get done with, your day-to-day that first day on Monday. Then I'm going to go into the practice, and I just watch how the staff is operating, where they're moving, what they're doing. I ask questions. I'm just like, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? What do you do? What, just ask
How do
questions.
we introduce you?
You don't introduce me. I am there. I'm just there. I'm a consultant that you have brought in just to observe the practice, to just look at things. And then what we can do is 2 of 1 ways that I've done it before. We do it like that. Then on the third day, whenever the practice is 1 of 2 things, Dr. Zimmerman, the third day I can go ahead and let the staff know who I am and see how they react. The problem with that is you might lose them. Some of them might walk, and are you going to be able to maintain because I'll be gone? Or I have a small meeting, and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm looking to do. These are some of the concerns that I have, and these are some of the positive changes that are going to happen. I'll be back on such and such date. I'll see y'all again. And I can get a feel for who's going to stay, who's going to jump ship. Then I start my recruitment process. I take another trip out there. I wait another couple of days. I take another trip out there. I talk to you, hey, what's going on? And then, because you're a lot bigger, Dr. Zimmerman, so So I might have to do that other trip out there just to have interviews going, have interviews ready to go, and then I drop the hammer on the second day.
Okay.
All right, guys, I got to jump off, but I will tell you, Dr. Zimmerman, that I told my staff, and I don't know that it really mattered. I told them, he's coming in, he's going to be tough, buckle your seatbelts. It really is going to be tough, and I don't know that it really mattered because half my staff was cool and the other one was just not cool, and I couldn't have prepared her more. So I wouldn't worry about how to prepare your staff. I would ask yourself, what do you need and what do you need, and think about that and then move on that. Because sometimes we spend so much time as doctors being caretakers, and sometimes we do it at the expense of taking care of what we need. And that's what I did. I was more worried about my staff than I was about making my practice a business, because at any moment these guys can leave. It doesn't matter to them. But I will always be the person with the practice, and I need to watch out for that. I need to take care of that. But I got to go. I hope that helped. I'm sorry to cut this short. It's after midnight, and my husband's waiting for me. But, call me if you have any questions. I'm very transparent, and I will tell you, I was doubting Freddie, not because of anything he did, but because I just was like, how can this work? And I can tell you, we had a great dinner tonight. We toasted, and, I'm excited for the next steps.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Zimmerman. We'll talk to you. Doctor, thank you so much. Dr.
You're welcome.
Dr. Zimmerman, hold on real quick.
Thank you. Sweet dreams.
Okay, I'm here. So it depends on how you guys want to do it. You're a little bit bigger of a practice. My recommendation is that's what we do. We do an assessment and an evaluation. I go in, I take my notes, I find out, I look at the staff. I don't want you all to tell me anything. I'm just there. Then on the third day, at the end or before I leave, I can just say, hey, it's a brief. I go in that morning. Hey, if you all wondering who I am, the more general approach is this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is what I was asked to do. You all just back my play. And then I leave. Then you see what kind of response and what, Stacy, what you get, what you're hearing, Dr. Zimmerman, what you get, what you're hearing. We wrap up the Indeed. I start interviewing on Zoom. I start cherry picking candidates that I see where the problem is. I make plans to take another trip out there for 2 days. On this second trip, I'm starting to interview candidates as soon as I land. I start the interview process for what I think that we need to prepare ourselves to who we need to replace. Again, you back it, and then I come down with the hammer. Then it comes down to where I'm just brutally honest. I just tell them exactly how I feel, exactly what I care about. I don't care about the emotions. I don't care about the feelings. If things were going right, then I wouldn't have been brought in. I am here to do this. I am here to execute, all feelings aside, and I don't care how they feel or what they're thinking. The only thing I care about is the bottom line and to create the business more profitable.
I think you've been having Stacy too.
Well, Freddie, I'll just tell you, this is stuff I've been telling Doc since I met him and from my own evaluation of the practice. But it's different. And I know when I came to work at the practice a couple of months ago, I've been trying to make changes. We had 2 people quit within the first month of me for this reason. So I think we can expedite it faster than you think, because I will be there to be the heavy with you. I have no problems with that.
Wonderful, Tracy, wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just didn't want me to have to take the burden on, because I do get the shit into the stick.
Well, guess what? Now I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy, Stacy. I'm the bad one. And if y'all want to do this fast track, then this is how it's going to go. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to do my assessment. I'm going to be very aggressive. I'm going to look. I'm going to watch. Then I'm going to tell you immediately. I need a staff meeting called immediately. We need to have a staff meeting the following morning. I don't care. Everybody's required to be here. It's either going to be early in the morning or it's going to be after clinic late. They will have to be there. No excuses. Who does not show up, they will not have a job. That's how we're going to do this. And that's going to test everybody. All you have to do is I don't know. We hired them, and we're just going with the flow right now. I'm sorry, you guys, and just gonna have to tough it up as a staff and pick up the slack. If you lose any employees, if they all walk out, they all walk out, and we just have to make it work. Stacy, you might have to jump in and help. For damn sake, I have a clinical background. We might have to change my trip. I might have to stay and help a little bit, which I've done. I can do it. I was a clinical manager for well over 8 years. I've worked orthopedic. I've worked ENT. I've done emergency pediatric trauma. I can handle it. Nothing. It's nothing.
I think that maybe we have a little powwow before, because Monday is the day that everyone will be there that works for us, and that would be the best day to do a staff meeting and kind of get balls rolling.
We can meet with you. We'll be at the aesthetic show, and the aesthetic show is over Sunday late morning, early afternoon.
Then why don't we do it? Why don't we do a brief powwow Sunday, maybe mid-evening? Go for a dinner, and then we can do this. We can do the staff meeting. Let's do it. I wouldn't do it early Monday morning. I would say let's do the staff meeting after clinic on Monday.
Okay.
And let's start it there. Stacy, I need your help. Dr. Zimmerman, have you set up an Indeed account yet?
I will do that tomorrow.
Okay, set me up an Indeed account, Stacy. Send me the username and password immediately. Do you have MAs? What do you have working the clinic? Do you have MAs? Do you have coordinators? I need to know what's in there.
We'll send you a staff registrar and what they do.
Yeah.
Well, it's just simple. You can do it in an email, like I have MAs working. The only reason I'm asking is because I'm going to run ads for those specific positions. I'm going to prepare us.
I think we have 3 MAs.
Yeah, we currently have front office. One admin who's really good with the books. 3 MAs, one started.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. And guys, what we need to do immediately, Dr. Zimmerman, we need to get Red Spot started now, because if the whole staff, entire staff decides to walk, Red Spot can take over all the phones. They can do your inbound and your out. They can do your inbound for your new patients, and they can do the inbound for the existing patients.
The problem is that our eClinicalWorks doesn't interface with them. That's our stick in the mud. So if you talk to Ryan,
they don't have to interface. They're going to have to figure out, and eClinicalWorks, they're going to have to get the licensing and pull it up on their end. And they're going to, for now, they're going to have to figure out a way. And I will get on Ryan's ass tomorrow morning, and I will tell him, look, he's going live tomorrow. We're going to get this stuff going. I don't care how you do it. If you need to go and get one person and you need to get it up and working. I don't know what to tell you.
Because his software won't interface with eClinicalWorks.
Okay. Well, it doesn't have to work. They need to be able to schedule for now. They just need to be able to handle the scheduling part. We can worry about the interfacing later. They just need to be able to handle the phones. If I have to get on the phone with Jason, the CEO, the owner of Red Spot, I will do that tomorrow myself as well.
Yeah, they tried this with another practice where they tried to interface, and he hired 2 full-timers to cover the phones. That it was an abominable waste of money because they just get done what they needed to get done.
Okay, that's not our problem. You're paying them for a service. This is the difference when I step in. You're paying for a service. They sold you a certain thing, and that's what the hell they're going to do. It's not just the employees that I'm on. I'm on everybody that you are using that we've recommended because they work with me. When I got here to New York, I asked Dr. Mir, where are we at with Nextech? Where are we at with Red Spot? Where are we at with Reach Local? Where are we at with this? She goes, I'm here. Okay, immediately got on the phone. What the hell's going on? Get your ass in gear. Get this stuff going. You got 2 hours. I want answers by the end of the day.
So that's going to alert our admin if we start spending money that something's going on.
She's not walking. That's the thing. I think we should bring her in on this. She's not walking.
I don't think we should bring her in. Let Freddie.
Okay. Yeah. If you feel comfortable with her, Stacy, and if she's that close to y'all, I would just give her a heads up and tell her, hey, we're going to be bringing some systems on board real quick. This is why. We're doing some changes real quick. We just want to make you aware. And
Freddie, tell me this. I wasn't with Doc on Sunday when he signed up.
She knows.
Yeah, no, I want to get a feel of the kinds of things he's looking for so that I can project who I think is going to walk and who I think won't. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I want to know kind of what you're looking at so that I can have a feel.
What I'm looking for is the employee who has kind of just been there to collect a check, who's doing the bare minimum, who is not doing the expectations of what you all expect, who you feel like isn't taking, who's not taking a call, who's not following up with a patient that didn't show up for a no-show appointment, who a patient, you have to look. You really have to pay attention. And Stacey, I think you already know.
Yeah.
I think you probably already have an idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go off of your hunch. That's going to be my strong point, because when we talk on Sunday, I'm going to you have a little bit of an advantage. And so I'm going to be watching certain people and see how they respond.
Okay.
And if you feel that way, 9 times out of 10, you're probably 100% right.
Okay.
Because you're there all the time in the practice. So you're dealing with them all day long.
Okay. So basically, I get what you're saying. So there's nothing in particular. It's just going to be, like we have one that, you know, we're just, honestly, it's like we're trying to keep her employed because she really is not a very good MA, and she's just older. May have learning disabilities or something. She's not a good fit for the practice at all.
I'm sorry, and my speech is very hard. It's a very hard speech to take in. Let me bring my colleague in, Jo John. Jo John, you're gonna be making the trip with me. This is Stacey.
How are you, Stacey?
Hi.
This is Dr. Zimmerman. Yeah. I can tell him all that I do, but I want him to hear it from you. What Stacey is asking is what to expect. Can you tell him how the process and what usually goes on when I go in and I talk and what is said and how it ruffles the staff and what actually happens that you've seen?
Okay, so when we go in there, Freddie shows no emotion. He will go in there and be as blunt as anything, but he will not do it in a disrespectful way. But there will be people that think that it's a disrespectful way, but you'll understand that they're self-centered once they do that, because people that take constructive criticism the right way will take it the right way and stay and then say, okay, let me get this and help it advance me. And you'll understand that. He also, we go and we stay up really late trying to get people off of Indeed. We call people at night because if they really, really want the job, they are going to answer no matter what time of day it is.
And Stacey, I change the dynamics because I incentivize. So I drop the hourly rates. I don't pay high salaries. And that scares off a lot of staff too, because when I'm sitting there talking to them and I point them out, what do you do? Go let me know what your day-to-day is when you're here at the office. From the time that you walk in the door to the time that you leave. What do you do? Yes, Miss So-and-so, you're in the front answering the phones. Can you explain to me your day-to-day? What do you do? But the one thing that always scares staff off, and it makes the rats just run from the ship, is when I look straight at them and I'm talking to them and I say, look, my name is Freddie Estrada. I'm with Close Now. If you haven't heard the whispers in the hallway, this is what I do, and this is why I've been brought in. Apparently, if the things that you were doing, if they were running right and running correctly and you were doing good, I would not be here. Well, now that I'm here, this is what I'm going to tell y'all. Very blunt, very, very honest. What does it say on the outside of that door? It says Dr. Zimmerman, doesn't it? Okay, yes, which means this is his business. This is how this place is going to be treated moving forward. If anybody has a problem with it, now's your time. You can get up and walk out, because there's going to be some changes. The first change is going to be, I understand there's no drama. He doesn't want to hear about it. You do want him to hear about your complaint and your drama. I tell you what, and I'll put you on the spot, Doc. I'm going to go, Dr. Zimmerman, if they each give you $10 million right now, if they can cut you a check for $10 million, can they please have 20 minutes of your time and 2% of the practice? Is that okay?
Done.
And a lot of people are like, what? This is crazy. This man is nuts. I can't believe this. And when they start doing that, because they're getting ready to jump. Because now the things that Stacey is seeing, now you've got some backing and some power behind you, and they're going to be like, okay, no, this is too much. What are you doing? We've been too comfortable. And I'll call them out. I'll be like, today, like I saw you today, Lisa, when that patient called, you were so quick to put her on hold and let her sit there for 20 minutes while you were joking over here with your other colleague. Is that how customer service should be run, Dr. Zimmerman? Is that what you expect? Okay, well, when Stacy came up and asked you, Monica, hey, I need some help. Can you help me get this ready? And you just laughed back and you sat back and you laughed at her and you cracked a joke about her. When you, Mary, instead of you trying to assist and jump up and help, you just said, you know what? You threw your hands up and said, I'm busy. Those days are over. It doesn't happen anymore.
All right. Sounds good.
Our staff usually helps, but sometimes they're just oblivious. And from what they may see other things that I just don't.
I do. I'm in the trenches more. So, and that purposely put me there so that I could see the workings. And it's been really beneficial the last 4 months being in the trenches and seeing. So I'll give you really good insight because, you know, I think I'm really harsh, yet I have a sympathetic side as well. Like I can see when people are trying versus, you know, people are just lazy. And that there's two very different things, but I don't really need to keep, you know, someone on that just can't do the job either. So, you know, I think I just really appreciate having you come in because this is really, really what we need to move forward in growth.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to this, and we're going to get it done. And
I will tell you. I was going to say one other thing. I don't know if Ed mentioned this because I've mentioned this before when I've talked to him about hiring a consultant. I said to him when he called me and said, what do you think? And I said, well, maybe you should come home and we should talk about it. And then I reminded him, I said, if you do this, you have to be okay with people walking out. And for him to fire people, you have to be okay with that, taking his recommendation. Otherwise, it's not worth it. If you're not going to take his recommendation, if you're going to, you know, so if you're ready to do that, I said, I'm all in. Let's do it. And he said he was ready to do that. And I know that's very hard for him. I'm sure like every physician you work with, that is very hard because they're caregivers and they care about their employees. And it's hard. So, but he's ready. I think he's ready more now than he has ever been. So I'm really proud of him for that because.
Well, and I admire that too, Doctor, because, you know, one of the hardest things, it was a hard thing to see again happen, what happened yesterday, because I just relived the whole nightmare with Dr. Genevieve when he lost his one staff that had been with him for 12 years. And I just relived it all yesterday. It was heartfelt because of the way Dr. Mir was very close to this employee. And it tugs at my heart. And then, you know, I start to think and I start saying, well, damn. Then my heart comes into play. I'm like, damn, she's got a family. She's got this. Did I do the right thing? I did, because I'm here for her. I'm here for the practice. I'm here for the business. I'm not here for the employee.
Yeah.
Yep. And you will get to know me, Stacy. You'll become like an extended part of my family. We spend so much time together talking, going through things, doing stuff. You may think I'm crazy a little bit and unorthodox, but I get it done.
I'm all about getting it done. I think we're going to get along great. I really do. I think it's going to be really amazing for the practice.
I'm looking forward.
He's worried. I can tell. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, honey.
Just take a deep breath, Doctor. You do what you enjoy doing and leave the bad work to me, and I'm going to be the bad guy.
Done.
That's all you got to do, guys. And I'm going to put your mind at ease, too. I wanted to let you all know I have decided, because I don't need to do this. I mean, we're doing well with our practice. I don't need to do this. I'm doing well. I also have Genevieve as a client as well. So I don't need to do this. I'm doing this because I want to help you. And I've blocked it off, and I'm not taking on any more clients because I don't want the service to suffer. So right now, I'm with y'all in this. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this in a positive manner, and you're going to be better off tomorrow than you were today. And I look forward to seeing you and meeting you, Stacy. We will be arriving in Vegas on Tuesday because we're going to be doing the show.
Okay.
Me and Joe have a little bit of a long, hectic travel thing. Then we have to be there in Vegas on Tuesday. We will be there through Wednesday, and then we will be flying back home. And then we have the boot camp training back in New York at the end of the month for the week. And then we will be done with New York, God willing, and they will be up and running. I just think that Dr. Zimmerman, please try and have everything in place or get it at least working. I will put the call into Red Spot tomorrow. Stacy, if you want, you can text me your cell phone number so I can talk to you directly so I don't really have to bother him tomorrow while he's busy. And
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell Ryan what the hell's going on. I just a bit of
my interpretation, but he's the one who introduced me to the alternatives, including
Okay, that's great. But you need to be live because they need to be answering your phones.
Yeah.
They need to be answering the phones. And if Dr. Genevieve didn't have surgery at 4:30 in the morning, I would call him right now and he'd be infuriated. He would wake up the CEO and the owner of Red Spot right now. I've seen him do it. So I will be on the phone in the morning. He will call me at 4:15. I will let him know what's going on, and we're gonna get this taken care of. We're gonna get this fixed. You're already working with a transition with Tara, correct, Dr. Zimmerman?
Yep, I've got the contract here, but when do you want me to sign that?
Get that signed over. Get it signed and get it over to her tomorrow, so they can start building up and getting ready. I know. Oh, and this is going to make you.
Because I'm going to have to let go my other SEO stuff, so there's going to be a little overlap there. But
that's okay. And I just brought on another company, and Dr. Mir jumped all over it when she heard about it. They're called National Recall. National Recall is awesome. What National Recall does is we literally take all the control away from the staff. National Recall calls all the canceled appointments, all the no-show appointments. They do surveys. They do everything. They check. They get the appointments rebooked. So we're not depending on the staff to do it. They find out which surgeries were with surgeries without consults, why they weren't booked, why they didn't book, why they didn't pay. They do surveys on the staff who did them. We're on a Google Drive doc where we're looking every day. Then we're holding the staff accountable. They are very cheap. They listen to when I say this. What we wanted them to do for Genevieve's practice, they couldn't. They had to create a custom package for us because that's how aggressive we are. You don't have to be that aggressive. You can start with the minimum just to see so we can get everything in play. I will get you that information for Amanda tomorrow. As long as we're ready to go with Red Spot, with Reach for the lead so we can start plugging everything in. And with we're working on the EMR software right now with you. What's going on with that, Doc? Have they told you, or can you tell me what's going on?
So I went through line by line over about 2.5, 3 hours on Sunday. I had my administrator go over it. Monday, we went through things, signed the contract on Tuesday. The admin and the primary front office gal are supposed to get their brief in service, I think, tomorrow, and schedule the transition for whatever they need to start apparently it has to be in a certain format to be clinical works. So
okay.
I don't know the timeline that done.
This is why I don't know. Like I told Ryan tried to tell me. Hold on. I don't know how they work. I haven't worked with them, but they haven't worked with me. Yeah, Next Tech is a little pricey. It costs a little bit more money, but it is a standard. And
who wrote it. This is the plastic surgeon who's a software engineer who wrote the Next Tech.
Now I've done some research and background on him. He did some things. He's not the actual engineer. He had some involvement. I already did my research on him. But I hear good things about him, so we just need to get him. Stacy, we might want to jump on a call tomorrow or sometime next week, and I said we need to tell him, hey, we need to get this fast. We need to get it moving faster. What else do you need from us? We need to get going here. Meanwhile, we'll get Red Spot where they can schedule. Hold on.
And then when You said higher reach now?
Hire what?
And you said higher reach local now?
Yes, you need to hire Reach Local because they need to get the dashboards in place. The dashboards are the key where I can start tracking all your leads. I can start looking at things, holding staff accountable. And then also the dashboard for Red Spot is important. The numbers don't have to be right because it doesn't interface right now, but I need the dashboards to be able to look at certain things. So that's why they're going to have to get this stuff moving fast. I will put the calls I need to in the morning. Stacy, like I said, just text me your cell phone number and your email address, and I will CC you in on everything, and I will keep communication open with you with what's going on so you can update Dr. Zimmerman.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, guys. I will
dinner
see you
next Sunday after the aesthetic show or late lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds good. After I get packed up, yeah, we can do that. Look forward to seeing y'all, and thanks for the call.
All right.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks, Freddie. Thanks, Jo.